And now it is my great pleasure to welcome Sarah Kay to close us out for today. Sarah is a Vice President of Inclusive Solutions at Prudential Financial. In her current role, she leads strategic philanthropy and partnerships to help advance the company's purpose and commitment to inclusive economic growth. She oversees philanthropic grants, business integration partnerships, and employee and community engagement programs. Sarah is somebody who just has tremendous strategic sense and values and really keeps her eye on the ball. And she keeps her focus on how do we expand work and wealth opportunities for financially vulnerable populations? How do we really contribute to building inclusive and equitable communities? And how do we advance racial justice and equity in all communities across the country? So Sarah, thank you so much for being here. Really delighted to welcome you for the third time to close out day one of Employee Ownership.
Hi, everyone. I will keep it short because I know we're past 5 o'clock already. And thank you so much to Maureen and Joe and both of their teams at Aspen and Rutgers. This is the third annual Employee Ownership Forum, and I feel like it gets bigger and better each year. And so it's really exciting to see you all here. So at Prudential, we are a global financial services company, but we are celebrating our 150th anniversary this year. We were founded and we're still headquartered in Newark, New Jersey. And we were founded on the premise of providing insurance products for working class families, which at the time was disrupting a market that didn't believe that working class families could be trusted to pay their premiums. That DNA of making sure that we're improving the social and economic conditions of working class families still stays with us today. And so we're focused on how do we make sure our customers, our communities are building and protecting their wealth. And from our lens, it's thinking about how do we build an ownership economy that works for all. We focus on a couple of different areas of ownership: home ownership, community shared real estate ownership, individual financial asset ownership, and then of course, employee ownership. A few months ago, many of us were at a White House briefing, and I said at that point, I think we are at an inflection point for employee ownership because there's so many different components that we all bring to this ecosystem, as Julian talked about. At Prudential, we invest in ESOPs. We provide philanthropic grants to many organizations in this room and outside on advancing the employee ownership field. And then we're taking a look at what other resources that we have. And so we're working with Project Equity to actually start working with our financial advisors. We have thousands of financial advisors that work with millions of customers to help them understand what does it mean to be an employee owner, as we think that there's going to be a boom of employee owners in the future, and how do they help financially plan for their future. And so the last thing that I'll say, because as everybody said, you all know why the benefits are for employee ownership. It creates sustainable businesses. It's about wealth distribution and creating economic equity as employees can share in the company's growth and success. And so the only thing that I'll add, in addition to everything that people said about improving policies, making sure that we have the right technical assistance providers, increasing the flow of capital, is how do we create the public will for all of this as well too, right? We're all in this moment together because we all have some kind of stake in it, but we want to get the masses to also advocate for it. I love the employee owner panel when they were talking about one woman, she loves her job compared to her peers. How can we make sure job seekers are looking for ESOP companies? How can we make sure that people want to buy and purchase and do business with companies that are either ESOPs or others? And I do want to say that we are committed to all forms of employee ownership: S Corp ESOPs, partial C Corp ESOPs, co-ops, broad-based equity, employee ownership models, and more. And so I challenge all of us, right? I think about when the straws, do you remember the straws? It was plastic straws, and the entire world suddenly decided that plastic straws, or bought into that concept, and then we all turned it around into paper and other kinds of forms. How do we get everybody to think about employee ownership and advocating for it? So talk to your families, your friends, your networks, media, getting the stories out there to really make sure that we are building an employee ownership economy for all workers. So thank you so much for being here today. I hope you will all join us tomorrow as well too, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.